Hey everybody, Tristan back with another video, and in this video I wanted to talk about why I think this camera is the best Leica M camera still, and this is the M10-R black paint model, and I think it's even better than the current M11 model that's out for a number of reasons. One is form factor. This still has the old classic form factor where you have the bottom plate here that you have to take off just like a film camera, which it really gives that film feeling. So you take this off to get access to the battery and to the SD card, and it's a brass bottom plate. So it just gives it that film feeling because the old Leica M film cameras had the bottom plate to change the film. And some people say, oh, well, it's a digital camera, you don't need that, but I'm kind of a purist and I like the old classic film kind of feel. So this is pretty indistinguishable from a film body in that respect, in both sort of look and feel. And one of the things I don't like about the M11 is that on the bottom you have an exposed USB-C port as well, like on the bottom. And I just think that it kind of cheapens the form factor. And it doesn't have the removable base plate, it just has the battery that you just put directly into the bottom. So I just think this is more of a classy kind of camera. The other thing is this is the black paint version. So instead of it being the black chrome, which is more of a matte finish, this is the actual black paint shiny version. And over time and usage, this is going to brass easier as you handle it and stuff on the edges, which I think is really cool and always leads to like a classic kind of look. And then also you have the script here as well, Leica Ernst Leitz Wetzlar Germany, which is really kind of nice. So this is the front of it. And the lens that I have installed on here right now is the Leica Summilux 35, which is a great lens. So the Leica M10 and the Leica M10R, I think still is a really great form factor, and I think it's a better form factor than the Leica M11. The Leica M10R, as I have here, is a 40 megapixel camera, whereas the Leica M11 is a 60 megapixel camera. Although you can actually shoot it less. You know, the M11 has settings where you can actually move the megapixels down from 60 if you think 60 is too much. And I think 60 is, pretty high. But this is a 40 megapixel camera and I don't miss having 60 megapixels. I think 40 megapixels for me is really a sweet spot. But even the Leica M10, the non-R version, is 24 megapixels, and that's plenty. I think people tend to get 2 megapixel crazy and want more and more megapixels, and that's not necessarily the case. If your image quality is there, it's almost like the megapixels almost don't even matter. But I think 40 megapixels for me is a really good sweet spot and something that I really like. One thing that I want to probably get at some point is the M10 monochrome, which is also, I believe, 40 megapixels. And I think that would go real well with this. So, maybe I would get that in the future. But in terms of Leica M cameras right now that are currently on the market, I think this literally is the best one to get. And I think Leica really did almost like a send-off of the old Leica M film form factors with this camera because they decided to do it in black paint. And it's the last digital M camera that has the removable base plate, just like a film camera. So in some ways, this particular Leica M10R is a kind of a special one because it's also a limited edition. They only made, I think, 2,000 of these worldwide in terms of black paint. Now you can get a Leica M10R in silver chrome or black chrome. Those are pretty readily available, but this is more of a limited edition. The other thing that's great about this is the top plate is brass underneath here. So the new Leica M11, the black one, is not brass. I think it's like an aluminum, whereas the silver one is brass. So the brass does make it a little bit heavier, than something that would be aluminum, but I think the brass is just really classic, and it just gives it a real more classic feel, which I definitely much prefer the brass top plate than like a aluminum top plate. The other thing is you'll notice my bottom plate here is completely blank. Normally it would have some stickers here because it's a digital camera, so it would have some certification stickers and stuff like that. I actually took those off using a little bit of, I believe, rubbing alcohol and Goo Gone, and then I made sure there was no residue on here. And I just think that's much more of a clean, classic look, and I highly recommend that you do that on your cameras as well, if you kind of like a purist kind of classic look. And then the only other sort of mod I did on this is I put a screen protector, glass, screen protector on the back to protect the screen. I believe it is like a Gorilla Glass type of screen, so it is quite durable. But I have had a situation on a prior digital Leica M camera where I did hit the glass screen on something and it didn't, without a screen protector, and it didn't crack or anything, but it did put a little nick in it. I don't know what I hit with it. So now I always have a screen protector on the back. But yeah, so the interface on this is really nice. You know, you've got, you know, only 3 buttons on the back, and your button here, and then this here is also a button as well. And it's just the layout and everything, and the menu is just really easy, and just really a simple design. And I just think it's really an elegant design and just awesome camera all around. Questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave them, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the Leica M cameras, and if you shoot a Leica M, what is your favorite Leica M? Yes, they are quite expensive cameras, but I think they are just really, really awesome, and this camera is literally my favorite camera that I've ever had. See you in my next video.